Hello, and welcome to this Ubisense event, Location Technology in Action. I'm your host, Stephen Manifold, Chief Marketing Officer of Ubisense, and I'm delighted you've chosen to join us today. We've got a great lineup of speakers sharing their experiences of using real-time location technology to improve business processes. Our aim is to pack in as much content as possible into this event, so we'll be moving through the presentations with some pace, but we'll make sure there's plenty of time for your questions. On your panel, as well as the main video stream, you'll find a widget where you can post your questions. These will get fed through to me here in the studio, and I'll do my best to ask as many as possible to our speakers as we go throughout the event. Don't hold back and don't wait till the end. Just fire away as soon as you think of something you'd like to ask. Also, the session today is being recorded, and a link will be sent out after the event, so if you miss something or you'd like to share something with colleagues, you'll be able to do that later. Today, I'm joined by a real mix of Ubisense clients and industry expert speakers from across Europe and North America. Again, you'll see on your panel a widget displaying the full agenda and highlighting which speakers are coming up next. So look, I said we'd move at some pace and pack in as much as possible. So without any delay, let's get started with our first speaker, Clare Colhoun, CEO of Ubisense. Clare has led the team here at Ubisense since early 2019 and joins us from her native island, where she wanted to spend a few minutes welcoming you and outlining what we've got in store for today's session. So I'll let Clare get the event started.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for attending and spending the next few hours with us. Today, we are discussing location technologies and the importance of these technologies, and that they are solving significant productivity and quality challenges for our clients. We know that traditional applications do not cater for the needs of manual business processes. Let's take an example on a factory floor, where you might have a forklift picking up an incorrect pallet. Now, if something doesn't intervene, that pallet will arrive line-side with the wrong parts and cause all kinds of delays. That is the type of situation that our technology will address and prevent the wrong parts arriving line-side. So we are committed to closing these data gaps around manual processes. We identify when and why something significant is happening in the unconnected world, and we update traditional business systems accordingly. Now, why are location technologies gaining a lot of traction at this moment? I think there are several reasons for this. One not insignificant one being the capital markets. Capital markets have really started to realize the value proposition that is location technologies, and significant funding has started to pour into location technology companies. There have been several acquisitions, there have been several new companies funded. And for any market to take off in a serious way, we need the capital markets with us. Another one is just familiarity and the technological curve. I mean, these technologies have been around for a while now. People are starting to understand them better. They're getting into the vernacular. People are less hesitant about using them. Another one, of course, is the pandemic. The pandemic has really contributed to a significant problem right across the supply chain. For example, the chip shortage that's happening at the moment. And we can see that in a lot of car plants, there's a lot more WIP piling up because there are shortages, and therefore location technologies are being used in those car plants to help them understand where everything is, where is that work in process. Another one is skill gaps. We know that manufacturing plants are dealing with an aging workforce, so they are using smart technologies to help complement that workforce. So as a result, the demand for our technologies is rapidly increasing. Once again, very delighted to have you all here today, listening and sharing with these stories that we're going to present. First of all, we're going to introduce Richard Hell from Oliver Wyman. Richard is going to share with us his insights from his engagements with leading manufacturing organizations. And we can definitely benefit from what Richard is learning. Then we're going to be joined by Stellantis. Stellantis will be sharing their story about using location technologies to control wireless tools in their production facility in Spain. And they will talk to the productivity and quality improvements that they're seeing as a result. Then a long time and very valued customer, Mercedes-Benz, will speak similarly about using these type of technologies and also how they have developed these into multiple use cases across many sites across the globe. They'll also speak to their experience of leveraging a centralized center of excellence team, and that may be of interest for many people who are listening in on the call today. Then we have another long-term valued customer, Metro Transit, who are using our technology to locate and track hundreds of buses, indoors and outdoor depots in Minneapolis and St. Paul's. Metro Transit will share their practical experience of location technologies and their use in harsh environments. They will speak to their experience of our evolution in our technologies and why they recently embarked on a tech refresh. Then finally, we will have Collins Aerospace, a relatively new client. Welcome, Collins. And they will speak to their experience of selecting and getting started with location technologies for logistics use case in Germany and in the US. Then we'll have a wrap up with our own Ubisense team with some live demos. We would like to share with you how we are improving the experience for our users, but also how we are making the technology as easy as possible to plan and deploy. Thank you very much. We'd definitely encourage you to ask as many questions as possible as we go through the presentations today. And now I'm going to hand you back to Stephen.
Thanks, Claire. I think it's fascinating to think about the breadth of organizations that can exploit location and movement data as look at ways to cope with these challenging operating conditions that you talked about. As you talk to Ubisense clients and partners, what changes are you seeing in how they think about using this technology to improve their processes?
Well, Stephen, one of the things that I mentioned when I was introducing this session today is familiarity. So we are finding that partners and customers are becoming more familiar with these technologies, and that means that they're asking less frequently for a proof of concept. The technology has been proven, and more clients and potential clients understand that and are willing to move up the curve quicker. Another one is there's an increasing interest in moving to the cloud. Our technologies obviously are deployed and deployable in the cloud, and many clients are aiming to go that direction. Another one is that we see that clients are interested in a suite of solutions. So, you know, it may be UWB for one use case, it may be BLE for another, it may be 5G for another. And so clients really are looking at a whole end-to-end suite of solutions to make, for example, their factories and their plants more efficient. And of course, in our case, all of these sensors types can be ingested by our smart space software platform. So they're probably some of the more significant things that I'm finding at the moment, Stephen.
Okay, excellent. Thanks, Claire. I'm pretty sure we're going to touch on some of those topics as we go throughout the presentations today. Thanks very much for your introduction. That's a great segue actually to get started with our event with just a short reminder of what's coming up.